What is up, YouTube? Thrift School over here, and today I want to talk to you guys about death piles, okay? So, death piles are, in reseller, eBay, Amazon seller terms, death piles are pretty much items that you have sitting around that you already bought that you have not listed or sold or done anything with. They're just sitting around, so it's basically money being wasted. And I have a whole bunch of death piles, as you can see right now. I have death piles in my closet. I have death piles for clothing sitting in bags that I never even opened, and some of these items go back to over a year old that I purchased and never did anything with. Now, if you are selling online, I'm sure you have a few items that you bought that have just been sitting around for such a long time, and you're like, why haven't I listed this? Why haven't I done anything with this? This is money wasted. Well, basically what I want to tell you guys is it's completely normal. I do it. I know a lot of other resellers that do it, and I see it all the time. You guys have seen it in my videos. Now, there are a few ways and a few methods that I use to help get rid of death piles, and they might not seem revolutionary because really the only real way to get rid of these items, whether it's clothing or things that you send off to Amazon, is to list it. Just get it listed, get it up. Once it's up, it can sell. So it's kind of daunting when you have bags and bags and bags of clothing sitting around that you purchased. I have it, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So what I do is I take clothing and I fold up a stack of 10, and I just sit it right on my table, right next to me, right in front of stuff that I need to get to, and I am looking at it. It's all folded, it's all ready to go. All I have to do is take the pictures, list it up, and then I kind of declutter a bit, and it's nice seeing everything all stacked up. It looks organized. It's less crazy for your mind to work out, oh, I got a bag full of stuff, I don't even know what's in here. When you take that stuff out, look at it, fold it, take the price tags off, and just stick it on the table, makes it that much easier to actually proceed and to grab these items and to list them. Because when you're looking at a bag full of stuff, it gets a little daunting in your head, and it kind of overwhelms me. It might overwhelm you as well. So that's tip number one. That's what I use to help me get rid of some of my clothing. Now, hard goods. Hard goods are something that I sometimes struggle with. Now, I have a box underneath my desk, as you can see right now, and this box is loaded with miscellaneous electronics. Now, there's kind of a tough thing when it comes to trying to list this stuff because you have to test it all. So whether it be phones or DVD combos or random miscellaneous electronics, plug-and-play games, you have to get batteries out, plug it into the TV. It takes some time to test these things. And with phones, you want to let them charge overnight to make sure that they actually hold a charge. It's surprising how many phone batteries are destroyed and will not hold a charge, and you'll be getting returns if you do not test it fully. These kind of items I struggle with, and some of you may struggle with actually setting aside the time to list it. So what you do, just grab a few out, just start doing them, and find the ones that actually need parts and pieces. Now, that might sound weird, but it helps for me because let's say I'm selling a DVD combo. So I need the remote. I want to sell it with the remote. I test the unit first. If it works perfectly fine, I go on eBay and I order the remote. So the second it comes in the mail, I know, okay, cool, this thing is ready to go. I put a little post-it note or a little sticker on the top of the unit saying works, and then the remote number that I need, the model number of the remote, and I put it together and it's ready to get shipped off. With a lot of these phones and stuff, you want to kind of get it out of your personal space depending on where you're working. So I'm working in one small office. It's just a room, and I don't want to have 10 phones plugged in charging all over the place. Now, it depends on if you mind or not to let some of your work overflow into your home. Sometimes it's okay to do. I have a power strip, and I'll set it up out in the dining room, and I'll plug in 3 to 5 phones, however many can fit in there, and I'll plug them all in, and I'll just let them charge in the other room overnight, so I'm not having to step over them. They're not sitting on the floor. I don't have a lot of space to be putting these combo players and phones and all this kind of stuff all over the place. So kind of get it away from you so you can actually focus on some other stuff. So while the phones are charging in the other room, you all of a sudden cleared up some space in that bin. Now you can start pulling out other electronics and testing them one by one. That's really the only way you can really get through it. You don't want to have everything thrown all around you because that becomes overwhelming. And what you're trying to do here is avoid all the overwhelmingness that happens when you're going through everything. Next, to help get rid of a lot of this clutter and a lot of this craziness, you do kind of want to organize it. So I know a lot of people, and I've seen these videos on YouTube, people kind of put everything into one corner, into one closet. Heck, I do it also. As you can see, everything is just in here. We have tennis rackets and DVD combos and a phone and all this, a light bright, all of this random stuff is just sitting in that closet, and that's not making it any easier to sort through. What you want to do is set stuff into piles. If you have clothing mixed with your hard goods, take the clothing out. You don't have to fold it up and set it to the side yet. Just take it out, set it somewhere else so you could go through that at a separate time. I find that's a lot easier and a lot faster to go through a lot of the same item as at once, because then you start to form this sort of routine and you're able to whiz through it a lot faster, really. So if you have a bag of clothing next to a bag of toys and you start going through the toys, you get bored of the toys, you start messing with the clothes, you get bored of the clothes, what you really want to do is finish that entire clothing pile first and then work to the toys, because when you're going back and forth, yeah, you're getting rid of a few things in one bag, a few things in the other, but now you still have two bags half full with things that are still taking up the space. Get rid of one bag so it feels that much cleaner, that much freer to get rid of one whole form of something. And then you could start working on everything down the line. Now, this may be different for you. Maybe you want to break it up. Maybe you want to be, working on a little bit of clothing, then moving to something else because you don't want to get so burnt out on one thing. I totally understand that, but trust me, it's easier if you just bang out everything that's the exact same and then move your way over to a completely different item. I swear it will help. It helps me every single time because I find myself sometimes going through some clothing. I list about 8 to 10 pieces of clothing and I start to get already worn out of it because I do everything on my phone, so I'm doing all the listings and everything, just one after the other, after the other, after the other, and doing 10 clothing listings on eBay does actually take a little bit of time. eBay takes a lot longer to list than Amazon. So I really try to get through it all, but then sometimes I can't and I want to start listing DVDs. Okay, well now I still have half of a clothes pile sitting in the corner and I'm starting to work on DVDs, which don't take up a lot of space. What you really want to do is get rid of them, and if I am to recommend something else, guys, get rid of your bigger items first. DVD combos, turntables, speakers, big items, maybe big coats if you're only a clothing seller. Get rid of all this big stuff first. Taking up a lot of space when it's sitting in bags, sitting on the floor, and sitting in the closet. You really want to be getting rid of all these bigger, bulkier items. Hopefully they sell. That's the main goal. Hopefully they sell and you can get them out of your house faster, but not only getting them out of your house, it's sort of getting them out of that pile. Once you have a whole bunch of smalls, you can fit a lot more in there. It doesn't mean you should be buying more, but it does mean that you do have some more space. You are able to kind of organize things a little bit easier once all the big, bulky items are gone. And of course, guys, the last tip, which is not really a tip, but a little bit of words of wisdom that we all need to follow, is to know when to not buy anymore. Now, I was listening to a YouTube channel, Prof Sales on YouTube, and this was months and months ago. He was talking about knowing when not to buy. He says if you have any form of death pile, I'm trying to remember his exact quote, but he was basically saying if you have a death pile, don't buy. If you have an excess of inventory, do not go out and buy. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. Let's say your thrift store is having all of a sudden a 50% off sale or a 75% off tag that day. Well, sometimes it's worth it to try and get some more items that you normally wouldn't be able to get for that price. But in the long run, guys, you want to just get everything listed the second you get it. I know life gets in the way. Sometimes you buy items and they need parts and pieces like remotes for DVD combos and cords for phones. These things You know, there's not much you can do to avoid it. They are going to be sitting around until you order the parts. But really, guys, when you start to have so many items, you really want to stop buying and just start listing, because it's all money tied up and you want that money in your bank account. And really, that's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys got some tips out of this. I mean, I basically did this video as a little bit of motivation for me as well. You guys saw how many items I have. All these items aren't sitting, and they haven't been sitting for 6+ months, but some of them have been sitting for 2 to 3 months where I just haven't done anything with them yet. I haven't tested them, because sort of when you start to get a lot of items, you get overwhelmed and you just don't want to deal with it. And I do have some clothing pieces, guys, like I said in the beginning of this video, that I haven't touched in a year. Isn't that kind of crazy? Why am I still buying clothing if I have some pieces that I haven't touched in over a year? Well, sometimes when you're out and about, you pass a Goodwill, you stop in, and all of a sudden you find 5 pieces that you know can go for good money. You list those first, because some of those $15 items that you bought a few months ago, you know, I'll get around to listing those $15 items when I have these $25, $35, $40 items. I want these to sell first. In reality, guys, you got to get it all listed. You got to get it all up, and it's the only way you're going to make money, by listing. Okay, guys? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions at all. I am here to help you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is Thrift School signing out. See ya.